أتاني مرة نزق ليسألني بما دنت، فقلت له أنا رجل أحب الله يا أنت، أتسأل كيف منهاجي أما بالحق آمنت، عباد الله إخواني فكن منهم إذا شئت، وكن معنا على حذر من التفريق إن صنت.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونعوذ بك من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، واشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، واشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ثم أما بعد، إن الأصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. I bear witness there's no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send our blessings and salutations upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us those hard-working sahabas. And He made those people the companion of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And because of those companions, me and you today, we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our families that came in this religion. Today I want to talk about something very important. And personally, you find these issues very much prevalent in the youth. But having said that, I mean, we should not be isolating the youth with these issues. It's also something that's found in us as grown-ups as well. I mean, this is about body image. Something that we are always constantly worried about what others think of me, how others see me. And in that constant worry, people go over the limits and even lose their own self and try to be someone that they are not. And so when the parents come and they say, my child is into these brands and is always speaking about buying expensive clothing and expensive shoes and expensive watches and all these other things that we are infatuated in this world. And then I also say to the parents, I mean, you're into the same as well, because you want to buy the most expensive house, has to be more bigger than your brother's or your sister's house. And your car should be more good looking than your brother or the people that you know. So it's something that we all suffer somehow. And unfortunately, our youth is being trapped in this dilemma, and it becomes very hard for them to come out. So really, one of the things that I want to start off with, Islam is a religion that upholds reputation and honor of every person. Islam tells us that no matter who it is, if he's a Muslim or not a Muslim, as a Muslim, it is your responsibility and my responsibility is to uphold that person. No matter how he looks at him, in our eyes, he may be the most, the most ugliest or the most unattractive. But again, our religion is giving us a lesson over here that we have to uphold reputation and image and the honor of such a person. And I think it's very common, and it goes around because you guys are very into the social media realm. And whenever it comes to social media, you have all these wings that you get. I mean, there was an ad which I saw Red Bull gives you wings, but actually it's Facebook gives you wings. In real essence, that's what it means. Because when you go onto these things, the most covetous of amongst us, the one who does not even have a tongue to speak, as soon as he sits behind the keyboard and the laptop or the iPad or whatever, and then he becomes the most bravest in the world, and he starts commenting about how someone looks or how someone is. And this is something which is against the religion of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Hujurat actually mentions, and this is one of the habits that is, again, very prevalent, because a lot of people complain about obesity, like they say we're getting bigger and we don't eat that much. I'll tell you what, you've been spiritually eating a lot. You know, in Islam, there's another kind of eating as well. That's backbiting. That's like the dressings. We eat a lot of side dishes. I mean, backbiting, gossiping, that's a part of our dish. And then we complain, I'm putting a lot of weight on. I haven't been eating. I've been starving for so many days. But you forget that you're eating something that you're not allowed to eat anyways. It's not healthy for you, and it will make you look bigger than what you are. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Hujurat says, and I want everyone to listen to this carefully. He says that someone who backbites about someone, then it is as if you have eaten the meat of your dead brother, flesh of your dead brother. I mean, now the ulama are saying, I mean, when they were asked, what does that mean? In itself, it's abhorring to actually eat meat of a human being, and just assuming and even thinking is in itself is a disgust, and it's to stop us from to go into that realm. And some of us are doing that on a daily basis. On a side note, as I said, on a lighter note, if you're complaining about getting heavier and you're not losing weight, and if you're not eating a lot as well, then definitely you're doing a lot of other eating which you're not allowed in spiritual sense. So this is something that goes around, and I want to speak about mental health as well. I mean, I'm very big on mental health, and I want to highlight this thing, especially with the young girls. And especially, I say that boys, you know, boys are, in essence, they like to be dirty and shabby and torn and all that kind of stuff because they think it's cool. One of my favorite students, whenever I see his hat, I'm amazed he hasn't bought a new hat. And today morning I told him, when you come to year 12, if you still have this hat, can you please give it to me? I'll keep it as a souvenir. So basically what it is, boys are like that, you know, they think it's cool to be like that. But the girls on a different level, they have many issues when it comes to body image, when it comes to how they're looking, when it comes to what people think of how they are. And even, you know, mashallah, to wear a hijab is the simplest things in the school, then you'll be amazed to find 15 different styles that the girls have. But if you look at the primary girls, it's just like a hat, they put it on, and it's simple, it's easy. But then some really complicate that. So really, simplicity is the key over here. And we are too much into those things that we are always worried about, how am I looking? And a lot of people, the young girls, have been suffering because of that. And because of that, there is a lot of self-harm at times as well. That they would start doing things to themselves what is not allowed in the religion. Now, being very explicit, it happens. I mean, you can tell me that if it doesn't happen, you can just fool yourself and live in la la land. It does happen. People are doing things to themselves which they should not be doing, which in essence you're saying the way Allah made me, He didn't do justice to me. So that's what you're trying to do if you are still complaining. But if it's self-destruction, where you have been on the couch for many days and gone through all the series of Home and Away, trying to catch them in a day, and then you were just eating and not knowing what you're doing, then yeah, definitely you need to hit the gym. But if it's something which is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then be thankful, you know. Be thankful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that for you. And I want to give you something from the seerah of Rasulullah, because we have to connect back to the seerah of Rasulullah, it's important. One of the Sahabis, in seerah, whenever you say the name, and people who are literate in Islam who understand the hadith, when the hadith is narrated by the name Abdullah or Abdullah, you don't have to say who this Abdullah is. Now this is the art of hadith. Every scholar of hadith would know this is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Abdullah ibn Mas'ud that great of a character that in hadith you might find the name Ibn Batn. I mean, like the son of a stomach. I mean, that's how it is. And these people, then they have the names. You find these names in the hadith. But then, if you hear the name Abdullah, then this is not Abdullah ibn Umar. This is not Abdullah Amr al-As. This is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Now, I want to tell you how Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was. Some of us, when I was growing up, and my personal confession to you guys, I was really short in the family. I mean, I was bullied by my dad. My dad said to me, you know what, we have to hold his hands and his legs, so in that way he might grow a bit longer. Alhamdulillah, my kids, if I look at them, and everyone says they're really tall, and they're, mashallah, they're very tall. I mean, I know I'll be a miniature in a few years, but they used to say that to me, my dad, and I love my dad, to pieces, but really, this is something that hurt me. I used to make dua, Allah, make me taller. Alhamdulillah, I got to 5'9.5", 5'10", I managed, but still, this is something, we all have these struggles. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, I tell you about Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, this man was really short. This man was very tiny, very tiny. One day, Sahabas were sitting together, and wind blew. Wallahi, no exaggeration. Wind blew, and it blew Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, and he went, and he just he leaned to a tree. That's how thin he was, and his legs showed. And his legs were really thin. Sahaba started laughing, started making fun of them. That's some of us, right? We make fun of people, how they look like, and then we just take them, really, we just keep on going and nagging them. Some of us, definitely. And so Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Rasulullah looked at it. Now look at how Rasulullah, whenever someone suffered from something in this dunya, Rasulullah reassured them by saying, your virtues are greater in the eyes of Allah. How many of us are doing that? We're not going to get the best of everything. This is the world. Remember, you're in this place. Dunya, the word, it comes from the word in itself. It's something which is despised. We live in dunya. And it's something not Allah chose for me and you. So, we are going to get it difficult. There will be times that we're not going to be happy. So there are a lot of things in our life that we're not going to like it. So what did Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, what did Rasulullah say? How did he reassure him? He said, your legs on the day of judgment will be like the mountain of Uhud. 4 of you, inshallah, are blessed, inshallah, you'll be going to Umrah. Just see how big mountain of Uhud is. Rasulullah said, your 2 legs will be the size of the mountain of Uhud. This is a big mountain. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the virtue of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is that. And remember, see, one of the things that, and I want to leave you with this thought, that really, when you get up in the morning, all of us, we come to school, we don't come to school all of our lives. I mean, we go to parties and everything. When you wake up in the morning, all right, when you get up in the morning, if you think that what am I going to wear, and if I wear this, what are my colleagues going to say? What are my peers going to say? What are my friends going to say? Or your dress is too like that, too like this, and all that kind of things will come to our head. If that is what you're doing, then you have really not understood what this religion is. But if you wake up in the morning and you say, what is Allah going to think of me today? That will ease you. You'll just wear whatever you like. And remember, one of the things in Islam is not to be shabby and not to be scrapped. In Islam is to beautify ourselves. I mean, wear the good clothing. Something you smell nice as well. I mean, there's fragrance coming out of you. It's not that when people come to you, they run 100 miles away from you. That's not what Islam is. Islam teaches us to be clean, neat. But in that way, do not compromise yourself. I mean, one of my beloved students over here was going last year on the camp, and I looked at his shorts. I was more worried about his aura, and I looked at his shorts, and I'm like, that's short. Do you know, he just did not worry about if it was not covering his aura or not. He turned around and said, do you know what it is? It's Louis Vuitton. And I'm like, who's that? He's not related to me. He's like, no, this is Louis Vuitton. this is 800 bucks. And I'm like, my wardrobe is cheaper than that shorter.
Huh?
Mind you, my wardrobe is cheaper than that. And I always say the best place to shop, and I'm not doing marketing in Khutbah, it's Kmart. Very good place to shop. Okay, so on a side note, so what we are trying to say is, when you wake up in the morning, and if you really think what Allah thinks of you, then your life will be at ease. Wallahi, your life will be at ease. You will have no sorrows in your life, and you're not going to worry about, what am I wearing? Do I need to wear this Vuitton or that Vuitton? Or do I have to do this Chi or that Chi or Gucci? And you don't have to do anything like that. And I'm telling you, if you really are doing the right thing, the only thing you should be wearing is what Islam says to you. If it's a woman, this is what you should be wearing. If it's a man, this is what you should be wearing. And then, in that way, if you want to spend more money, if Allah has given you money, let me clarify this as well. People might come back and ask me, if you are rich, if you can afford that, I don't have a problem with that, but cover yourself. To ask Louis Vuitton to make longer shorts, so they can cover your aura. I don't have a problem with that. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفر الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. And I want to finish off on this story, and I've said this story before, but it's relevant. It's relevant to the conditions that we live in. And this is when in 2004, when there was a blanket ban in France on hijab. And this is where in the school, this girl by the name of Sunnat Tijoun, and she's a French girl, she was in high school. And I want everyone to listen to this carefully, because if you talk and if you mumble, you're not going to get the gist of what this girl is trying to do. She's teaching me a lesson, and she's teaching all of us a lesson. And sometimes you don't need scholars or literate or learned people to teach lessons. You can learn lessons of life from people walking on the street. So this girl goes to school, and she was asked to leave the school because she was covering her head. So what she decides, she has a lot to think about it. And then after thinking and contemplating, she understands that what she wants to do is she wants to shave her head off, like the hair. So she wants to shave her hair. So what she does, if I say shave her head, it doesn't sound right. So she cut her hair completely, shaved it off. And then she goes to school. And now everyone's looking at her. She becomes one of those people who are bullied by everyone. And then there's cameraman who's standing, and they're asking her a question. And this is a statement she says. And I want everyone to listen to this carefully. And that's why a lot of us, what we are trying to do, we are only trying to please what other thinks of ourselves. You are not living your life. You're only worried about what your neighbor is thinking, what your friend is thinking, and what are they thinking. It's like whenever I go out, sometimes my father-in-law, and I hope it's not being recorded, so my father-in-law says to me, we are going to the shopping center, don't wear this. Now I respect my father-in-law, I don't say anything, but I don't take these clothes off as well. And my son sits here one day, we were going for football, don't want to embarrass him. I was wearing this, and he said, Dad, don't wear this. And I said to him, you know what, I am going to wear this. Because we want to show people who we are. And this is what we are. So really, it's not about what people think of you. Islam is easy. Islam makes you not worry about anything. This is what Islam is. Don't worry about anything. Worry about Allah. If you only worry about Allah, your life will be very simple, trust me. So, this is what the girl says to the cameraman. If being beautiful in the sight of the Creator means being ugly in the sight of creation, then I'm okay with it. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا بفضلك شر ما قضيت، فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى إليك، فإنه يذل من وليت ولا يعز من عاديت، تباركت ربنا وتعاليت، لا منج منك إلا إليك، لك الحمد على ما قضيت، نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك، نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات ومنهم الأحياء والأموات. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر العساكر المسلمين، اللهم انصر الجماعة الموحدين يا رب العالمين. ربنا ثبت قلوبنا وأقدامنا على دينك يا رب العالمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.